Alright, so today it's Foundation Friday. This is where I try out a new foundation every single Friday on my channel. Today, we've got a new one here. This is the 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie Longwear Foundation and Concealer. So this is actually foundation concealer in one. You could use it for both. I actually purchased 5 of the mini shades myself during... What is that? What is happening here? They had a Cinco de Mayo sale where the minis were $5, so I purchased 5 shades during that sale, and then I got this in PUR. So we have a lot of shades here. The main thing that stands out with this foundation launch is that there are 100 shades, which is incredible. I don't care if it's a marketing thing, if it makes them look good. Who cares? They made 100 shades. For having 100 shades, this isn't getting as much hype as it deserves. Everyone loves to freak out on the internet when there's not enough shades, but then when there's 100 shades that span pretty much every skin tone, I personally feel like it's not getting enough recognition. So major hats off to PUR, and it goes very deep to very fair and in between. So I mean, that's incredible. The 100 shades are available on PUR's website. If you're on Ulta, they only have 40 shades, and Ulta's actually sold out of like the first half of the shades on there. The other really cool thing is that there's a shade finder on there, but it is the most intense shade finder I have ever seen. I don't know how the hell they pulled all this data. They literally have like 1,000 brands on there. I was able to shade match to Dermacol 208 and COO Life Proof in 101, which are my 2 closest shade matches. Both of those said that I would be the shade LG4 in the PUR foundation. Of course, between all of these and all of the ones I bought, the shade LG4 is not in here. I took the shade finder after. This would have been helpful. But I do think there are definitely a few shades in here that could work. So the full size of this foundation retails for $36 to get 1 fluid ounce of product. I think that's a pretty good price. It's kind of like Clinique pricing. I'm pretty sure I have a coupon code that's still active with them. If I do, I'll put it in the description box, but I think it might be like 10%. They're also doing 20% off sales a lot, so you know, just choose whichever one you want. There are a ton of claims on here. I'm going to pop in the photo here so you can kind of read everything yourself so I don't have to go through all this, but basically it's supposed to instantly mask and blur. It says it has medium to full coverage. It's cool because you can actually use the doe foot applicator or a pump, depending on what you want to use or if you want to use it for concealer. So that's pretty cool. It's cruelty-free, vegan, gluten-free, and it's okay for sensitive skin. So, I mean, literally everything about this foundation sounds great. I'm super curious to see how this goes on my skin. All right, I just filmed the swatches for the Juvia's Place foundation that I reviewed last week. So that's what those two are right here. Here's 740 and 730. Here's Dermacol 208, COO Life Proof in 101. Both these are my closest shade match. Fenty Beauty in 110. And then here's the start of some PUR swatches. So I just did 5 swatches of the PUR foundations. So here's the lightest shade, LN1. Next over is lightest in the golden undertone, LG1. Here's LN3, LN4, which has pretty peachy undertones, and then LN6. I'm gonna be donating all the other shades, so I didn't wanna swatch them, so I wouldn't be able to give them away, but here's a few. So if you're newer here, I have dry skin. I always prep my skin with the La Roche-Posay SPF. I link it in the description box down below. I do 10-hour wear tests, flash tests, shots of natural lighting, and we're going to get real up close so you can see how the foundation actually looks. So if you're excited for this video and you enjoy Foundation Fridays, you can give us a thumbs up. I upload every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific time. Let's go get up close and try this guy on, and we'll figure out what the heck shade I'm going to put on my face. All right, we've got the close-up lens here. Let's see which shade I'm going to be. That looks too light. I might have a little bit of self-tanner left over. I got back from Hawaii a couple days ago. I think it's mostly off, but there might be a little bit left over. Whenever I try and shade match, I do it to my neck because my face is always a little bit darker and more red. So I'm debating between LN4 and LN6. Let's try LN6. If it's too dark, I can always add in some of LN4. So we're just going to look at the packaging on this since I'm not going to be using it. But here you have the pump at the top, and then you can twist it off and you get the doe foot applicator. So super cool packaging. I'll probably use this as concealer since this is lighter. Wow, it's real toasty in here. Have my super cool Walmart holographic cup. So on half my face, I'm gonna use my Sigma F80 like always, and my LA Girl sponge on the other half. Oh, cool. Okay, we still get a doe foot on these little baby ones. Okay, that's actually looking... yeah, that shade will be too dark. This is LN6. Okay, wait, let me try LN4. I think I'm going to be LN4. Oh, it feels drier than I was picturing. Like, I can't really feel any kind of creaminess blending it out, but that just blended out in about 2 seconds. I'm gonna add a tiny bit more. I would say it's medium to full coverage. Like, it looks like high medium coverage to me. I can still see some stuff coming through. As you can see, it covered up pretty much all of my redness. You can still see a little bit of freckles coming through. I have extra freckles right now because of just being in Hawaii, but just because I'm curious and I have LN3 in the big bottle, I think I'm going to try a little bit of that on this side using the giant doe foot. Can always, yeah, see, that one looks a little bit light. Okay, yeah, LN3 is too light, so let's add in, what, I have like 10 shades on my face right now. I would guess out of the shades that I have, I think LN4 is my closest right now. Oh shit, totally just forgot about the sponge. Wow, that never happens. I just got so excited. I'm gonna use the sponge to do kind of a second layer since I want to see if it can build up, and I'm gonna use the sponge on my forehead too. Typically, sponges give me much less coverage than a brush, but I do like using them to go over after I use a brush to get the coverage I like. Yeah, it definitely looks a bit lighter coverage. It dries super fast, the foundation. You kind of have to work quickly, and I like the finish with the brush. Like, it looks totally smooth and great with the brush, so I don't even think I need to really go over this one with a sponge. Oh, by the way, wow, I don't know what's happening today. It's 10:24 in the morning right now. So it probably was about 10:15 when I started this. Just because it's looking a little bit dry right between my eyebrows, I'm going to take the sponge right there. Just go over it with nothing on it. All right, hopefully this one kind of warms up to my forehead a little bit throughout the day because right now it's looking just a little bit dry. Oh, I am wearing Ugg boots. That might be contributing to the 85 million degrees problem. Okay, so I think I'm at solid high medium coverage. It doesn't look total full coverage, but for me, this is enough coverage. I don't mind seeing like the freckles and stuff coming through. And to the touch, it actually feels like it's setting down, which is really exciting. I love when foundations don't feel super tacky, because sometimes then I can get away with not setting my cheek area and just going in with bronzer right away. By the way, my nails are slightly janky right now. I just painted over neon yellow shellac, so. Oh, let's do the other shade for concealer. So I'm going to take probably LN1 for concealer. Since this dries pretty quickly, I'm going to just do one side at a time here. I always get questions about this brush. It's the Morphe E45. Ooh, that's looking nice. Brightened everything up nicely, and I like the coverage. That's looking good as concealer. Okay, right now everything is looking nice. I'm not like totally in love, blown away, but we'll see how it looks once I have the rest of my makeup on. I think I'm just going to do something pretty natural because it is Saturday. I'm just going to go hang out with Rach. We're probably going to go thrifting or something today, and then I also need to get some editing done, so I'm not going to do anything too crazy, but right now it is 10:29, so we're going to call the check-in time 10:30. I am going to set my under eyes like I normally do with my powders, but I don't feel like I need to set my face. So we'll see how it goes, but I'll check back in with you guys in a few minutes. All right, so it's now 10:50, but we're gonna call the check-in time 10:45. So I really like that I didn't have to powder. Everything blended totally fine on top with my dry skin if I don't have to powder. I don't. My foundation usually wears fine without a powder. It looks better throughout the day than if I have a powder. So the thing I like about it is that it doesn't look or feel makeup-y. I'm just not loving it. Like, there's something about it that it just looks a little bit average to me. I think it's just the forehead. Like, I don't absolutely love how it looks on my forehead. It just looks a little bit too dry. It's just not the most moisturizing and like flattering on dry skin, I would say. This one might be a little bit better on normal or oily skin, but I do really like how it looks as concealer. I think I would like this better if I mix it with something that's just a little bit dewier, or if I spray a crap ton of setting spray over top. On the rest of my face for bronzer, I use the IT Cosmetics Radiance Ombre Bronzer, Fenty Beauty Girl Next Door Chic Freak. Blush I used Balm Beach, this shade right here. And then for eyes, I just put this highlight shade all over my lid called Lost in Luster by NARS. And then for lips, I've been in love with She's an Influencer by Patrick Ta. And then I just added a little bit of the CYO gloss over top just to lighten it a tiny bit. This one's in the shade All Psyched. So let's go see what this looks like in natural lighting, and we'll do a flash test. All right, so I'm in natural lighting right now, so let's see how we're doing. I really like how it looks here down. Like it looks really nice and almost like soft focus, a little bit more matte. But on my forehead, I don't know, I just don't love it. Just like slightly textured. I just don't love how it's sitting on my forehead. I feel like it's just kind of emphasizing some of my texture and dryness. I have other foundations that sit a little bit better there, but here's the rest of my face. Like it looks pretty nice down here. It's not creasing badly on my upper lip. So let's do a flash test. Okay, I do think it has a little bit of flashback. It's not like awful, but I wouldn't say this one is super flattering in flash. It does have a little bit of bounce back. I just feel like a bit dry. But I will see you guys in a few hours back in natural lighting. All right, it's now 5:09, so it's been on for over 6 hours. So I've been looking at it throughout this whole day. And I also asked Rach what she thought of it, and we both think that it looks very dry. Just doesn't look good on my skin. I'm not feeling it. It actually looks better in this lighting. And like looking at it on camera, it looks like it's dewy and it looks pretty good from like far away. But in the car, in Rachel's house, everywhere else I've looked at it, I just look and feel super dry. I don't think this one's gonna be probably for dry skin. So here's up close. I think that's almost showing accurate. It still looks a little bit dewier, I feel like, than it has been looking, but here's also my under eyes. I do feel like it's almost like lifting up. You can see the darkness isn't totally covered anymore underneath my eyes. I just don't love it. Like every time I've looked at my skin, I don't like how it looks, but the samples are cheap. Like you can get them on sale for around $5. So if you're curious, I think it might be worth giving a go with the samples. But I'm gonna keep this on for a few more hours and I'll see you guys at the end of the night to see if anything changes. Okay, so it's now 8:42. That was super cool because I literally finished editing the second my alarm went off for this check-in. So basically same exact thoughts, but it now looks like textured and dry, but also weirdly oily. It's making my skin look more textured than it actually is. I can just really see it sitting on my skin. Doesn't look awful down here, but doesn't look the best. It does look like it's kind of rubbed off in certain areas throughout the day, but I think we know how we feel about this one. Like I always say, foundations wear completely different on different people. If you have a different skin type, this could look like an entirely different foundation on your skin. I'm living proof of that, going from oily skin to dry skin. Some of the foundations that used to look so good on my skin just look terrible on my skin now, so it just totally depends on your skin type and everything, so you might totally love this foundation. But I hope you guys enjoyed this Foundation Friday. If you did, you can give it a thumbs up. Let me know down below what foundations you want to see coming. I'm going to be ordering the Smith & Colt foundation. I think that one's new on Ulta. But let me know if there are any others you can think of that you want to see reviewed down below. But I love you guys. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.